Hi guys, I've come back out in the shed because I thought I'd better cover off those hot wire cutters that I made up, because somebody's bound to ask. There's lots of videos on YouTube on how to make them, and the ones that I've made are about as simple as you possibly can. I'll start with the small one first. It's just 3 pieces of scrap wood. At one end I've put 2 screws into the joint to hold it still, and the other end I've just put 1 screw so there's a bit of movement on there so we can tension the wire, because when it gets hot it stretches a bit. The wire is taken from hairdryers. These are all the hot wire or the heater sections out of various hairdryers that I've taken apart in the past. The wire, I don't suppose the camera will focus, but it's actually coiled up or in zigzags depending on which make it is, and all I've done is straighten the wire. If we look at this one, which is exactly the same as the smaller one, still got 2 screws in one end, 1 screw in the other end, but I've actually added some rubber bands on here just to keep the tension for me. And on this one you can actually see the wire is still in its springy state here, and I straightened it by running it over the edge of my pencil. I did actually put gloves on to do it so it didn't cut into my finger, but I just rubbed along it until it straightened out. If I just, let's see if I can get a bit of a close-up here. Alright, hopefully we're in focus. So that's the springy wire as it comes off the hairdryer, and all I've done is run it along my pencil here, kept doing it until it goes straight. And I've done that for a bit that's long enough for my bow. Right, we'll get out of close-up mode now. So, I just straightened enough to do it. I've left the rest coiled up because that actually keeps it out of the way. And if I burn this through or break it, all I need to do is straighten some more and put it back on again. It's just a wrap round a screw at that end, and I actually twisted it into a loop at that end and then hooked it over. Let's just undo that. So there you are. I just twisted it into a loop, and that's enough to hold it in place. Around there. Around there. Before you do that, you put a little bit of tension on with the rubber bands. And that's my extremely simple hot wire cutter. Then for power, I've got a car battery over there in the corner. I made up some leads using a fairly thick power cable. So I've got a crocodile clip on one end, I've got a loop on the other end. I've actually got a self-tapping screw going through it because I had intended to actually drill the lugs on the top of the battery and screw them in, but then I found I could just use these big crocodile clips, and those clips actually go to a solar panel that's supposed to keep the battery topped up. I don't think it does enough to make up for the power that I've used, so I have actually got a battery charger over there to actually top it up properly. But it does keep the battery topped up in the shed here anyway. Let's have a quick look. That's reading 12.61 at the moment, that's not bad. In fact, since I put the solar panel on there, I've been keeping track. It started off at 12.4, peaked at about, where are we, 12.48 I think was the best I got into it, and then after that I used it for some hot wire cutting. Then I recharged it with a battery charge. I got it right up to 12.95 straight after taking the battery charger off it. It then drops back again and settled at 12.63, and then after cutting it was down to 12.56. So it looks like it's topped it back up again. So what else can I say about the hot wire cutter? Because you've never got enough hands, I actually clamped it onto the edge of the worktop here. Got a couple of C clamps there, or G clamps, depending on what you like to call them. So that held it in place so I could actually work at this end with two hands. The styrofoam that I've been using, this is insulation styrofoam that's actually underneath my conservatory. That's what they put down to give it a layer of insulation, and then put the concrete screed on top of it. So it's not particularly lightweight stuff, but it seems to work. And I think that's about it as far as the hot wire cutter goes. And then at the moment, in the corner of my shed here, I've got quite a pile of scrap styrofoam, so I might be doing something else with it at some time. I think that's it for now. Job done.